Welcome back to the Die by the Dice podcast. When we last left our heroes, leaving their parley with the Kinnear-esque lizard folk, the group headed north into the deep desert. They traveled for days until they found the Stairs of Ascension, a series of obsidian pillars forming a rising spiral. While making camp in the mountainous shadow, Drock tried his hand at climbing, but relented after several pillars. Later, while heading east towards Shade, they rescued a trapped traveler from a cage. They quickly grew suspicious and confronted him about his vehemence about making camp before dawn. The traveler, Roston, revealed that he was a vampire, but was trying not to hurt innocent people. Our heroes warily agreed to let him live. As they continued on towards Shade, Kiaran was attacked on her watch by a trio of skeletal snakes. And sadly, that combat and the subsequent adventure are lost to the mist of time due to technical difficulties. However, we will collectively recount the highlights of that last adventure for you. And this is not just going to be my GM recap, but actually a group effort for our entire team. So players, why don't you go ahead and tell our listening audience in however much detail you see fit, and I'll jump in with little points here and there if anything's forgotten. Basically what happened last week on the Die by the Dice podcast, starting with Lisa.
Okay, so I was on my watch. We were attacked by skeletal snakes. They were more susceptible to blunt force attacks, but they did start reassembling themselves after they were destroyed, so that led to some complications. We also heard, I think Theron heard it first.
Oh, yeah, I was asleep at the start, but after I woke my ass up, then I actually heard somebody, like it was like a voice on the wind or something like that. So I ran away from that first, because I was running toward the snakes, and they were on the opposite side.
Well, which led to the humorous part. So my character woke up, because sharing a tent with the vampire doesn't lead you to a lot of restful nights. Was one of the first people getting up the hill, and as we engaged the snakes, and then the voice was heard, the two people that wielded blunt weapons that were the most adept at fighting the snakes left the people that were the least adept at fighting the snakes to fight the snakes.
You guys had it.
No, we didn't. I got hit once, and it was almost dead.
It was at this time that we also...
Almost dead.
It was at this time that we also decided that whoever's on watch should have the horn that I usually carry. Because the horn is an instrument for making loud noises to rouse people. There was a OS moment. I think, like, oh crap, there was a slight, this is a first level fight. DM, is this what you're doing to us?
We were fine.
We were ultimately fine. You know, having run some sessions in 5th, oh my god, first level is more brutal in this edition than I remember in other editions, because everything can auto-kill you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we fought this woman. It was a woman who was summoning the snakes. We think she did not confirm, but we're pretty sure.
But they stopped coming back when we killed her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we killed her though, because she disappeared into sand.
Her.
Whatever. But she disintegrated into sand and was royally pissed, I think. So there's that.
So with what did Roston do during the fight? How did he help out?
He was yelling from the tent. He couldn't come outside.
He was giving us support, which is normally my job as a bard, but he was right there with us.
Hey guys, are you okay? What's going on? Come help us! Oh, I can't, because I'll burst into flames. Useless vampire.
So after defeating the skeletal snakes and their apparent mistress, what happened then?
More travel time?
We just
we kept traveling.
Well, we decided to press on, so we were kind of doing double time to try to get to town since our resources were dwindling.
And the vampire that will eat us.
Yeah.
The vampire was getting hungry, and we were all injured, which was probably kind of stoking that hunger.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we kind of decided to double time to get to the town.
We did see a caravan. Was that before or after the flying thing?
We saw the flying thing, which ended up amounting to nothing, and then we saw the caravan after we saw the town.
Yes.
At this point, nothing.
Mm.
Nothing during our journey, but we saw the caravan as we were getting close to town, so there was a debate of, like, meeting up at the caravan.
Well, Drock had a very, I just had a gut feeling that we should attack them. It wasn't shared by the group, so...
We all thought that was a horrible idea.
As a half-orc who is, however, cultured a little bit, has no restraint, I did not attack, which was my impulse. I stayed behind, because I'm a...
So you exercise impulse control.
Impulse control.
That might be the first and only time that happens.
Yes, well done. Well done, Drock. And then we continued to the town, and we made it to the town of Shade. And we didn't go that far into the town before we split ways with our vampire friend.
Because he had some eating to do.
Yep.
Bad people, we hope. We assume.
Yeah,
or else Taylor's going to be a little upset.
We didn't really question that too much.
No, we questioned it quite a bit initially. We just didn't bring it back up when we got to town, and are leaving him to his word.
So we have the
He
word
seems
from
like a trustworthy vampire guy.
that he is starving and that he will only eat someone. He will find someone wicked and drain them.
We did not regulate him at all.
Nah.
No, there were no assurance. Is all.
We basically got in and said, well, see you later.
Yeah, we trust you. Go ahead, have fun.
We had our own business we needed to attend to.
Yes, we went and we checked into the inn.
Which had a clever name.
It did. The Road's End.
The Road's End.
Yes. And then Jock was able to actually get us some stuff for free because of his amazing performance.
I rolled a 19, so, Drog was able to build out some, I think, the equivalent of living on a prayer or something. Just like everyone was like, yeah.
We're halfway there.
Yeah.
No, we're all the way there.
Road's End.
And then we found our quarry, which was your...
I think it was the next morning, though. We found my uncle.
Your deadbeat uncle?
It
Who has all the
was,
dead
yeah.
small.
Yeah, we all got a full night's rest, and the next morning, actually we were there in the morning, so like that afternoon, when we came back down, my apparently deadbeat, I don't think I was quite fully aware of how deadbeat he was. Uncle finally told us what he needed. He's in debt to some bad people. Hilariously,
To the one person who we were I have my
specifically
notes here,
told.
is like, don't get in bad with this guy. And immediately, the one person who we have to do tasks for,
Hafaj
Rahim.
And I finally found out that the joke I've been trying to play up, that yes, he is short with a short temper. Because he is a halfling. Which we should not take lightly. And he also doesn't like having his height pointed out, which is weird for a race of people that are short.
Now Drock, actually, I just want to cut in here. Drock spent a lot of his adulthood being around halflings, so I think he's the one who should interact primarily with should we? I think that's going to go well. I'm going to bring up the fact that I was raised as part of my DM's laughing, which means this is only a good idea. I'm going to do it anyway.
Joe, I see no flaws in this plan whatsoever.
If we happen to talk with them and I'm going to just try to smooth things over, say, hey, I was raised by halflings. I won't tell you.
This is going to end well.
This is going to be great.
So
then a bond will be built.
my deadbeat uncle beseeched us to help him with. He's attaining a map, and then wants us to help him essentially follow the map, get the goods, which will help pay off his debt to the vicious halfling.
We do have to wait 3 days, though, for the map to come from one of his sources.
Yeah, which is supposed to be a good source, he has told us. So we've got 3 days of time to kill in the meantime to wrap up some other business. And maybe shopping or something. I don't know. Not that we have a ton of money. So.
Maybe shopping.
Well, I mean, we have to replenish some of our supplies that we lost, rations and whatnot, just in case we end up out in the desert again.
Mm-hmm.
We did see your uncle's hovel, so we know where to find him, technically. And I think that's where we ended. Is that correct?
You were going to head to the mercantile of Everin Hamar, to whom you have a scroll case to deliver.
That is correct.
All right, listeners, before we get too deep into the episode proper, we have a shout-out I want to go ahead and read. This comes from listener Anthony Joseph, who says, "Hello, Die by the Dice crew. Just finished the 3rd episode, and so far this is hands down the best episode yet. I feel like everybody is doing a great job, but I have to throw a shout-out. I think it's Farron, Brent's character. For the blatant lack of tact, hollering at mysterious eyes in the darkness, the sorry not sorry shield fumble, and the lack of hesitation to blast the fuck out of the vampire if he steps out of line. An awkward priest that doesn't take shit from anybody. I really enjoy hearing the characters define themselves, but for episode 3, I feel like I had more outbursts from the priest's reaction. Very much enjoying it and looking forward to the next installment." He also continues, "P.S. Kieran, who I think is Lisa's character, I suck at names, was a close second for the sheer fact that she made the executive decision of banishing Eric's to the vampire tent without any discussion. A very, nope, this is how it is discussion. But again, I'm enjoying things from each party member. Highlights are definitely the bard's performance fails, and Eric's just being a smartass and continuing to bring up the Taffy Cat. Anthony, thank you very much for listening and for your shout-out. We're going to go ahead and give some of the players a bit of an XP boost on your behalf. So thanks for listening, and for anyone else who wants to give us a shout-out, diebythedice@gmail.com is the best way to do it, or for a longer form like this, or just simply at diebythedice at Twitter. Thank you. Enjoy the episode. Yes, and we rejoin our party, moving through the daytime streets of Shade in the late afternoon.
So on top of this, one thing is we should probably figure out, since at least for the foreseeable future, this is going to be our home base. more long-term living arrangements than sleeping in the inn.
We should also probably not explore, but at least figure out where things are.
Yeah. So, I mean, I want to head to the mercantile to turn this in just so we don't forget. Also, it could lead to more business or other deals. It could solve some of our immediate problems. But yes, getting to know the town and then figuring out a more long-term living situation.
I'll continue playing and try to build a name and I will make John whenever necessary. We'll make some persuasion tests just for general, hey, what's going on? So socializing with people and not having to be awkward like I am right now.
So are you going to be socializing in lieu of going to the mercantile, or are you going to stay with the party?
I'm going to stay with the party, but I will be socializing.
Okay.
Does this city have I mean, it doesn't strike me as a particularly religious sort of town, but do they have like some sort of temple or anything like that to Baylor?
Do you want to... Well, let's get to the market first.
Okay.
And then you can sort of...
yeah, we'll check it out later.
Okay. Make somebody make either a persuasion or perception check to try to find the location of the mercantile.
24 persuasion.
I think I told.
Okay.
I'll try perception.
Oh, either way, that's good enough.
Okay.
So, a passerby you flag down, a weather-beaten dwarven man with kind of bleach blonde beard and hair, heavily tanned flesh from what you can see, roughly tells you the directions. As you come by, you see a large wooden sign gracing the door of a small reclaimed stone building, much of the same construction material that the rest of the town of Shadesmere is built of. Now that you can see in the sun, it has kind of sparkly flecks of blue amidst kind of a steel gray color, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Hue?
No, it's a little bit marbly, but it's not like swirly. It's kind of it's a little bit like granite, just kind of like a flat color.
Patchy.
Not really. It's pretty flat. It's pretty flat and uniform. But when the sun hits it, they're like little blue flecks that reflect within. It says Hamar's on top, and there's a couple uneven windows at the fronts.
I have a feeling this is the place we're looking for.
What gave it away?
I don't know. Just a feeling. It's a hunch. I follow my hunch and go inside.
Who has the scroll and who is talking?
I have the scroll because it was given to me.
Excellent.
As you walk in, you see a mercantile not too dissimilar to the one you found in Rafasha, belonging to Hameen. The proprietor, however, could not be more different. A knoll sits behind the desk, with his mane braided into two long braids that flank his ears. Standing next to the door, you see a heavily built human, naked from the waist up, and his dark tan skin is heavily covered in scars. He wears his head and chin shaven. On each of his hips is a curved scimitar, and he keeps his hands on both hilts. The knoll says, "For protection, you see. Come, welcome. What can I do for you?"
Actually, in this particular case, it's what I can do for you. Reach into my pouch, pull out the thing. I was told to deliver this to you, and deliver to only you. As you can see, it's unopened.
Quick perception checks from everybody.
Okay.
Right. Ooh, 9.
Not fantastic.
13 total.
19 total.
Woo! We keep her around for a reason.
Okay. You see the man kept around for protection sort of tense his muscles and grip the hilts of his scimitars.
I will likewise tense.
Hamar says, "Told by whom, might I ask?"
Yeah, note taking.
The shopkeeper in Rafasha. Fortunately, I was passing through, and I did not take note of his name.
You see him kind of pass a glance to the bodyguard, the guard, who doesn't strike, but remains kind of at ready. Based on his stance, he seems like he'd be a formidable opponent.
Is he near me?
He's like right next to the door, so depending on kind of how, like if you sort of walked in and just kind of stayed near the doorway, you'd be very close to him.
I assume Tom walked
Eric
forward
says,
a little
yeah,
bit.
he's gone over the counter. He's about 10, 15 feet away.
Erickson.
He reaches below the counter and produces a a stoppered glass flask and pops the top off. It's about 6 inches in diameter, and there's a kind of a yellowish greenish liquid making up the bottom 3 or so inches of the flask.
I'm not drinking that.
Absolutely, you would not. It'd be the last beverage you eat or you imbibe. And he takes the scroll case. At the top, there's like a combination lock, which he does, and then aims it down into the liquid and pops the top off. When he does, a clockwork beetle about 2 inches in diameter pops out of the scroll case into the liquid and begins to thrash and dissolve.
Nature's amazing.
Interesting delivery.
I'm glad I didn't try to open that. That seemed potentially unpleasant.
Is that the only way he could have died?
Is that the only way what could have died?
The beetle.
Oh no, it can die from a number of means, but this is the way it's most assured not to jump on the opener and, well, do very unpleasant things to their inner workings.
Do shopkeepers from such large distances really hate each other this much? I mean...
Oh no, this is an insurance policy.
Oh, it's a good insurance policy.
If anyone were to unknowingly open the case, well, the tiny clockwork ravager there would do very bad things to their softer bits. The rest of their short life would be very, very unpleasant. Trust me on this.
I do.
Oh, I get it. Drop realizes.
He kind of casts you a sideways glance and then...
I lean in. It's okay. He's a little slow to the party sometimes.
As long as he gets there. And he knocks a rolled piece of parchment from the case, inspects it, kind of pulls out a little bit, seems satisfied, then rolls it back up and puts it in. Good. So, tell me, what was promised you upon its deliverance?
Apparently that was one of the things I didn't take notes of, and it's been like a month now. Can I make like a intelligence or wisdom check to see if I remember what he said?
You can make a wisdom check to try to remember what was said.
Can I also do? Because I had remembered a discussion with him.
If you actually remember, you just remember. But if Joe doesn't remember, then you'll have to make a check.
I'll make a check.
Wisdom check is the appropriate one.
13.
18 wisdom check.
Okay. Drock, you remember that the bargain for delivering the scroll case was a discount on the goods you already bought.
Oh yeah, that's why we don't remember, because it wasn't there. Bluff, my good rogue.
You didn't remember that though.
I know. My guy doesn't remember, but he doesn't remember shit, so he's gonna make up. No matter what, he'd make up something.
So I'm gonna go first, or you can't.
If you want to go. I need a second to think of something.
We're promised to have a few contacts in town to help make our way here in Shade.
Kind of along the lines of what I was thinking. Yeah, he promised that you'd be able to help get us set up in town, since we're going to be here for a long haul.
Assisting?
Yeah, essentially. So an assist of 11.
You don't get the assist, but he seems to buy your story, and he says, I can help you with a friend or two in town and a place to stay. There's a price for it, of course, as there is for everything in Shade. They say you can't make friends without making a few enemies at the same time. If you assist me in a bit of work, then I'd be happy to accommodate.
What kind of work?
Something very precious to me was taken, without my consent and without my desire, by someone here in town. I want you to get it back for me.
Oh, I can do that.
I don't care about the means, as long as it is returned undamaged.
And what is this object we're retrieving? It's hard to retrieve something without knowing what it is.
The object is a small fetish necklace.
That means something different, guys.
Hey, whatever he's into, man. I'm not going to judge.
Hey, man, Halfling's got going on, so Drops kind of rolls
tiny
with
ball
everything.
gag. No.
It's a set of anal beads. Been passed out of my family for years.
Oh.
Okay.
It is a
Slightly used.
It is a pair of mummified claws on a silver band. The tips of them have been gilded in gold. It is of great importance to me, and I would like to have it back in my possession.
Sentimental value?
Yes. I mean, also actual value, but it means more to me than the coins it is worth.
Do you know who has taken it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Consult the book.
Get my notes here. The person who holds my heirloom is Osmara Imenifer, the self-styled life giver here in Shade. If you can recover the necklace from the Water Baroness, then I will make it the effort worth your time. Not only in contacts and housing, but some amount of gold will be heading your way as well. Crowns still spend here, despite the distance from the Empire.
It's the language I speak.
Are there any other details that might help us with retrieving your property?
Is she formidable of magic or melee ability? Or arrows, those two. Those are bad.
Why don't we try not to get in a fight?
Says the sneaky person.
Yeah.
Hey!
The Baroness is a dragonborn, standing well over 6 feet tall, formidable in melee combat, and well connected within the town.
Do we know what kind of, what does she breathe out of her mouth?
Well, I imagine air like most of us.
She's a dragonborn, they shoot elemental stuff.
Drock is laughing so loudly at Eric's.
Well, no one can say for sure. They say that anyone who's seen her breath weapon has not lived to tell the tale.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fair enough.
We're in a town of first level ZR1 characters.
We're not first level anymore, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's enough to at least get us going. We can find out more information.
Well, for one, where would we find her? Or her,
That's why I said get going. We don't have to have him lay everything out for us. It makes us look incompetent.
well,
We're saying this stuff.
we're new in town. He clearly knows it. We can at least ask for directions. Where would we find her? Or her stronghold? Or whatever. You said Water Baroness. I assume she has
Water.
water holed up somewhere. Or an office. I don't know.
Her stronghold is near the Hollow Temple, to the east of town. The enormous structure that you can see from virtually everywhere, it's near there.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
And she has a
Who has rope?
what is effectively a warehouse built against the outer wall of the temple, and a small but well appointed base of operations nearby. The specifics of where she holds my relic I do not know.
So she doesn't wear it.
No. I think she keeps it like a trophy. The bitch.
He's not bitter or anything.
Nah.
Alright. Are we off?
Yes.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Good luck to you, sir. Thank you. That didn't make any sense.
Enjoy your meal. You
I walk
too.
out. Drock
Enjoy your
nod-
movie, you too.
Drock nods to the scimitar or wielding ruffian.
He gives you a nod back. Stays like stern face.
Yeah, because I'm very scarred too. So.
Eric just kind of grins and waves at him as he walks out the door.
I'm just gonna sort of keep an eye on him.
I
As
thought you were
walk
such
by.
a dandy. You're like,
That- no,
just imagine like waving.
Not that kind of wave.
No, just I just imagine he's a dandy. That's all. We need to get like a foppish hat, like a Renaissance.
No, I'm not Edward.
Oh god.
How delightful!
I'm a different kind of jackassy light fighter.
Alright. What's the plan?
Alright.
So we're let's recon. We don't have a place to like.
Well, that's what this mission is for, is to get a place to live.
Yeah.
So for now, like, I guess the current, until we get a new housing, the current base of operations is the Road's End.
Do you want to go to?
So if we ever need to meet back up, that's,
Yeah.
because that's where we're staying.
Yeah, but we don't need to go back right now. I think we should head to the place that we're gonna essentially rob
Oh,
and
no,
scout it out.
I agree, but if for some reason we get separated, that's where we should be back.
Roger that.
Should we plot while we're walking, or should we kind of?
Well, there's no plotting yet. We need to essentially reconnoiter. We need to case the joint, get a sense of what's going on. Like, we're not just going to be rushing in there. This is a job. We're doing this right.
Mhm.
I think those two should talk with her, and I think we should case out because I don't know, Life Giver, your Paylor, everyone likes Paylor, so I feel
Eric
like
kind of stops and looks Kieran up and down. How stealthy are you? You don't seem to carry a lot of stuff, so I've known some stealthy monks in my time.
More
Maybe
stealthy
not.
than I thought I was. Actually, looking at my paper here,
agile.
I'm probably stealthier than
Well, you're probably
And
stealthier
drop.
than him, and he points it.
I
You're in
have
full
disadvantage on stealth rolls.
So that's
You're
that's
full
what I'm
armor.
saying.
So if we're breaking in, you're not coming with us.
I was like, how am I with?
It'd be if you're not proficient, it's just your dex bonus. If you are proficient, it's your dex bonus plus your proficiency.
Or if you're a bard, you add half your proficiency bonus to everything.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
no.
then.
So yes, if you need a stealth person, I'm
Yeah,
probably your best bet in this group.
It'd probably be nice to have somebody go in with me as well, but
So not bad.
let's at least case the joint. We'll figure out the plan. I would feel bad leaving the priest out of this, though. I don't know how you feel about breaking into someone's house.
How do I feel about that?
I mean, to be fair, she's apparently a bad woman. Dragon thing.
Why don't we interact with her, and then stealthy guys, you don't interact with her. That way, she doesn't know you or see you.
Interacting might be irrelevant. Like that's why we need to go check out. Like, we need more information.
She sells water, right?
Yes.
That's what she does. Let's just go buy some water. And
Yeah.
we can use that as a pretense for.
Exactly. We just need to go there and get information.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're going to the thing.
Okay.
We are walking. I begin
We're
to
walking. We're walking.
walk. I begin to walk.
All right.
One foot in front of other.
That's how walking works. Yes.
Along the way, since we didn't ask him, I'm gonna try to see if I can find out. Does her? Because he told us it's near the Hollow Temple. He didn't give us if it has a name. I'm gonna try to find out if her of where she lives, her fortress or whatever stronghold has a name that people call it by.
I want to know if she's got a reputation.
Yeah, I'm essentially going to be doing information gathering as we're heading over there. What's the name of the place? What's her reputation? Like we're new here, so I'm going to be kind of coaching it and be like, hey, we're figuring out the town.
Why don't you
We've
ask?
heard she's the source of water.
Well, we ask your uncle.
Well, he's not around right now. I do want to ask: are there people like in the streets? Are we
Well-
walking through alleys? What's the environment like?
So the town is it seems very thrown together. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason. Like the streets in the capital are immaculately planned out in a grid pattern. You can see from down the main hall all the way to the Grand Palace. Here, everything seems to just kind of be built wherever it's built. All of it's kind of cobbled stone that appears to all be from the same source. This kind of gunmetal gray with blue flecks stones piled on top of each other and kind of mortared together to make the buildings. What's that? Walking around?
Are there people walking around?
Yeah, there are people. It seems like, unlike within the deep desert, here people have kind of gone back to a regular diurnal. Is the walking around during the day?
Yeah.
The people here have gone back to a walking around in it.
Take two.
The people here have gone back to a diurnal schedule, mostly active during the day.
So, thing that just occurred to me. I'm going to look for signs of a thieves guild because I don't want to get attacked for working in on territory.
Dron says, Kjord, I think we should be careful, but we don't want to ask too many people because they might be connected to her, so we don't know who to trust.
Well,
Well,
but I'm also keeping the questions general as the types of things people would ask that are new to town and trying to figure out. I'm not like, so where does she keep her like expensive things? It's who is she, like what I've heard about this place. What's it called? I want to be able to find it. I want to know what to call it. Be respectful. Like how do I not piss her off? Like things that like place like this might be a relevant question.
Or like we've heard this lady sells water. Where should we go? How much does it cost? Maybe I should do the thing because you guys are very memorable. So if we're planning a heist and we are seen the day before asking questions about her, the memorable people would probably not be the best ones to be asking questions.
So I'm going to bring up that I'm going to make sure, since what we're planning to do at this point is larceny, I'm going to see if there's a local thieves guild whose toes we're not going to step on.
Good plan.
So I'll separate from the group and let them do that level of the casing and try to go find the thieves guild. I'm assuming there's probably marking signs, something I'm semi-familiar with my history.
Okay. We'll put your search on pause for a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
And are you guys going to be asking around about her, or are you going to look around, try to find her spot?
I'll look around. 12.
You have advantage because you were basically told where to go.
17.
17. Okay. The Hollow Temple is frankly impossible to miss. It's cast such a
What's it called?
the Hollow Temple.
Is that the name of her base, or is that the name of where it's near?
That's the
name of
big
where it's
building.
near. Yeah. It's,
Okay.
It's an enormous building to the
Because I got the Hollow Temple.
yeah,
here.
mostly east and somewhat north. It sort of has an L shape to it from as far as you've been able to see so far.
Okay.
It's large enough to cast shadow for a good chunk of the day over most of the town.
Providing shade for shade.
Bum.
It could be where the name comes from. Or it could work on a lot of levels.
So do we find the building?
You do.
All right.
You see a much larger building than any of the others you've seen so far. It looks like a warehouse. It's about 2.5 stories tall. It's got you can't tell what the ceiling's made of, but it has a very kind of big boxy structure to it. In a few places you see etched into like a stone disc and embedded into the wall the image of a jug pouring water into another jug.
Like the caravan we didn't do anything with.
Yes.
Kind of glad we didn't now, so we don't piss off the water supplier in the desert.
So I'm gonna kind of stay
Like
out.
we're about to?
I'm gonna kind of like
Only if we get caught.
basically patrol around and maybe strike up a conversation. I'm gonna let you guys go in.
Okay, so as you begin to approach, it's like an L-shaped building.
I'm gonna double check, make sure I have like an empty water skin or something.
No, there is a drawing here of what is clearly an L shape.
So this is the large warehouse.
Thank you, Drock.
And this is the reportedly well-appointed office.
Yeah.
You guys are coming from like northwest over here, approaching. You can see there are a number of armed guards. Basically, every corner has one. And make a perception check.
Perception.
10.
13.
20.
25.
You're not there.
Just joking.
Okay.
I didn't roll anything.
All right. What'd you have?
13.
13. Okay. Drock and Kieran see there is a guard on each corner and a bowman on the roof.
Oh, so it's like 3 amigos.
Sure.
What?
It's like
El
6
Wapo.
amigos, but
Oh, it's like El Wapo. Never mind.
all right.
I derail everything.
There's a large on the north wall of the warehouse.
Mhm.
There's a large like a warehouse door, kind of sliding wooden door. As you approach, one of the guards wearing scale mail seems to be sweating a bit in the afternoon sun, but he has a wooden shield and a halberd in hand. He holds up his shield hand to have you stop. The warehouse is for official business only. If you're here to shop, head to the office. And he motions you around.
Okay, and then we'll head that way.
Okay. As you come across, you see a smaller building. This one only about a single story. There are a few windows on the side and a door is currently open. You can see a few people leaving from within with carrying a large barrel between them. It sloshes like it's full of water. On the front, it says the Wellspring painted onto the stone. Inside, there is a man dressed in loose robes. He has a long beard across the entirety of his face, put into 3 braids, basically one on each cheek and then one down the center of his chin. He has striking green eyes and a shaven head. Not as pale as Roston, but certainly much the fairest person you've seen skin-wise since you've arrived in Shade. He says, "Welcome to the Wellspring. I am a humble servant of the Life Giver. What may I do for you today?"
Drock looks like Kiaran.
Just for clarification, what else is in there? Is it just a room with him, or
It's
is
a
it
room with him and a small fountain off to the side. It's about 3 feet in diameter and sort of just bubbling up. There's like a jug in the middle, sort of bubbling up over it, back to like a small. This looks like a bird bath with a jug in the middle of it, and the water's pouring out of the jug back into the bird bath, and there seems to be some sort of circulation going on.
fountain?
Yeah.
Like a park fountain.
Like a park fountain, yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's a little desk with a couple chairs in front of it, and then a door to a back room. He has some papers laid out in front of him and a coffer, and in the corner of the room is a green plant, like not like a succulent, like a regular plant like you'd see near the river, which is like such a show of ostentation here in the middle of the desert. And there is a hobgoblin sitting there wearing a male vest, like an armor vest, not like a boy's vest. And his with his furry arms crossed in front of his chest. He seems to be looking. He looks as intimidating as the other guy looks sycophantic.
All right, I'll look at the guy who greeted us and give my greeting back. Hello. We followed the signs here. I was wondering how much it would be to fill up this with water. And I'll hold up my empty water skin.
It says it would really do you much better to buy in bulk, I can assure you. Do you have any larger vessels?
Not with us currently. We are new to town.
Can we buy vessels here?
But of course. For a nominal fee, you understand.
What kind of fee are we talking here?
What kind of vessel are we talking here? And do you need delivery service? The Life Giver accommodates all who ask.
Is it possible to get all these deals together in one batch?
Absolutely, my friend.
Okay, looking around, like, do they have a display maybe of like what kind of vessels you can buy? Or, like, are we talking casks? Are we talking?
There's no display.
Okay.
But if you ask him what sort of vessels are available,
Okay. What sort of vessels are available?
he says, everything from tiny 2 to 5 gallon casks all the way up to 20 to 40 gallon barrels as needed.
What's a barrel go for?
Well, the 20 gallon barrel, with delivery, of course, and he kind of takes his quill out and. Okay, plus, and this is the first time you have bought water from the wellspring, yes?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. So, then we have the sign-up fee, of course, and okay. So the 20 gallon barrel will be 35 gold pieces.
Frame of reference for that, is that a lot?
That's a lot.
That's right.
Okay.
So
Like-
a gold piece
like-
is like a is it still a peasant's like monthly salary? Is one gold piece?
It's a
Okay.
bit less than that, but it's
The noble background gave me 25 as walking around cash, so keep
Okay.
that in mind.
yeah, like
Okay.
you would pay like maybe gold and a half for the barrel, and then coppers to fill it, like by the river. Like this is highway robbery.
Okay. So,
We feel a little bit less bad about stealing from this lady
A
now.
little bit.
yeah.
As we are new to town, we really are not set up for delivery yet. But thank you for giving us the information.
He says, "Well, I would charge you for the quote, but there are frankly not much competition in town. So when you are prepared and when the thirst arrives, then you know where to find us. Thank you for your time."
For now, please just fill up my water skin. I do want to buy something from him just in case.
Oh, of course, of course. So then
40.
Shit.
it says that'll be 3 gold.
Ow.
How much was that
Ouch.
wine that you bought, Drock, in the beginning?
Like 1, maybe 2.
Man.
To be fair,
Jeez.
we are also in the middle of a desert.
True. All right, I'm gonna pay the man just to sort of ease this transaction.
Okay.
So 3 gold.
I have to play a lot of music to be able to pick up some of these.
Or if you let me know later, I can try to retrieve it.
I was gonna say we have a thief in the party. This
I
will
could do
not.
some
We
Right,
also
but-
have someone who makes. What, can we run beside business?
No, stop it. We're still in the shop. Shut
Yeah,
up.
maybe that's not the thing to say in front.
No, I'm thinking in my head.
Okay.
He doesn't know that.
Drock does not say that. out
he
loud.
All right, I will get the water from him. Pay him the 3 gold.
Okay.
Say bye pleasantly and leave.
I do say I'm gonna have to play a lot around town.
Okay.
So when I post up by this place and play music, there's a reason why I'm there.
Setting up your cover story.
Yep.
All right.
Stupid like a fox.
What?
All right. He gives you your water skin and bids you good day.
I said good day.
Make perception checks as you depart.
So 3.
God, I am retiring this one already. That's 11.
Do you want to borrow a different one?
15.
15?
I've got one more I can try here.
All right.
Is the little dude in the corner going to do something?
Actually, I have quite a few d20s.
Yeah, you hear him
Yeah.
say. You hear him say. I don't like the looks of those 3.
I gave you gold. Dang it.
Inform us, Mara. There's new blood in town.
Maybe I'm going in by myself.
Once we do get a distance away, I do want to say like I can like maybe post up somewhere and like just get my case and kind of play like all day
Okay.
and try to keep an eye about things. If there is
post you up.
They already know who I am.
So, I have an idea now that we're like out of there.
Okay.
You brought up the fact that I can create water.
Yeah.
If I burn every slot, I can fill one of those barrels every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every
So, you talked about maybe setting up a side business, maybe later. I think if we want to set this up as an inside job, I can go to work for this lady for a night or two.
Oh.
And maybe leave the back door open and get you in.
And you know who we also should call in a favor? Roston. He owes us. How about you?
Set up how to find him?
You can't ask me questions for this because I'm not there.
I have an idea. I might just get drunk, pretend I'm drunk,
I
and
think we
kind of yell
told him
out.
to find us at the inn.
Oh, that's probably true.
I might actually cut myself slightly and kind of just kind of smear that blood, just kind of go in the air, just
again, no flaws in this plan.
Yeah.
Actually, it'd be better for her to do that.
Yeah.
Or you.
Better?
The humans of the party.
Better?
Well,
Question mark?
Well, no, it would be more likely to attract him.
That's true.
Because he
We
flat out
never
said
established that. We never
he
established that.
flat out said that the two of you guys tasted by. That's why you guys maybe sleep in his tent.
Oh yeah, that's
Because
right.
he flat out said that we weren't as appealing.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, he might not also be the only vampire in town, so let's not try to draw every single blood
People
drawn
in this kind of
person.
town, pricking yourself is probably not going to be the thing that draws all the vampires to you.
Just saying, there are flaws in
I was
this
like, let's
plan.
do this, called Roston. You just kind of walk around with my
Here,
hands up.
boy.
We should make a bat signal for him.
I have Great Minor Illusion. I was gonna do Roston, but I thought that might be a little bit too. I was gonna do just Roston. I can do it. Up
You
to
are not stealthy.
30 feet in the air, I can do a Minor Illusion and have Roston.
Okay.
Meanwhile, while this is going on,
All right. So, obviously, because I'm moving into more larceny business, he puts his hood up.
okay.
Obviously, it's not going to say not keep people from looking at him, but it'll at least do something to kind of hide his features. He's generally going to be asking in Thieves' Cant.
Okay.
So
So are you asking around or looking around?
both.
Both.
If I have to talk to anybody, I do it in Thieves' Cant. So the very least, someone thinks I'm crazy, as opposed to a bunch of people know I'm asking around about a thieves guild.
Okay.
And if somebody understands it, they probably know what I'm looking for.
Okay. Make a perception check first, please.
10.
10. Okay.
I'm better if it's investigation, but in this case, not that much.
Then please make a persuasion check.
16.
All right, and then please make a deceive check. Deception.
19.
19. Okay.
I lie like a champ.
So asking around and looking around, you do see a few markings on. You see some markings on walls. Looks like kind of just tagging or graffiti, but you see enough of them to kind of that territorial markers are in place.
Mm-hmm.
Asking around a little bit, you are given the following information. There are, in fact, 2 fledgling guilds in town. The first is called the Sand Drakes.
It's a good name, John.
Thank you.
I'm bad at code and stuff like.
Their tag seems to be like
A Sandrake?
a tan, like a little tan dragon. The other guild is called the Sisterhood of Ghosts.
Probably not the one that I'm going to end up working with, just based on context clues.
You are pretty foppish. So.
What's their symbol?
There appears to be it's like a stick figure upper half, like just sort of a cross with a circle on the top,
Mm-hmm.
but the bottom of the cross kind of is like a little squiggle.
Cartoon ghost?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I'm afraid of no ghosts.
All right, so
It's here. I'll just draw it real quick and show it to you.
yeah, that's more or less what I thought.
For listeners at home, it is a squiggle
So-
cross.
While my character doesn't feel the best about the sisterhood one, he's not going to be discriminatory in what he's finding, because he's more or less trying to figure out what the situation is in this town. If they're fledgling, there's probably not a whole lot of this is our territory, or this at least some, but not quite as solidified to be the running guess, but he's still going to see what he can find out. He's not talking about why, more or less just general operating. This one, he's not intending to give away what his plan is.
Are you trying to make a meeting with one of the 2 guilds?
Yeah, he wants to get. Yeah, they just have a meeting with one of the guilds, find out the lay of the land. and get a sense of like, if he does this, how much trouble is he going to get into, without directly asking that kind of question, but just finding out like what their rules are, expectations, if there are independent operators in the city.
With a little bit of investigation and asking around, you do manage to get a meeting with a member of the Sand Drakes.
Is there a name with him or no?
Yes. He identifies himself as Kravash. He's a well-tanned human man with shock white hair. He has like coal around his eyes, and when you meet him, he kind of like meets you in an alleyway, and you can hear him like rolling dice in his fingers. We don't often see new blood and shade come right for the guilds.
Well, I have some experience with guilds in other towns, and I know what my own personal penchants are, and I know in some cities you either need to be a member of the guild or at least know what the lay of the land is if you're going to try to be an independent operator so you don't get your throat slit and dumped in an alley somewhere. I like to have my throat intact, so figured I should at least check in and see what's going on before I proceed with any plans that may come up. Or just, making a living.
He says, wise words. So do you prefer to stay independent, or would you like to join the Drakes?
Honest answer, I don't know yet. I ran with some guilds back where I came from. Never really gave too much of the personal allegiance, more independent contractor, but tended to actually do a lot more contract with the guilds themselves without fully dipping my toe in the pond. I'm not against it. At this point, I'm just settling in and trying to figure out what's what.
He seems to kind of get a bit of a read on you, and he says, so are you looking for work, or have you found it already?
Both. I've got a couple leads on things that could pan out. I don't know where they're going yet. It could be a whole lot of nothing, because people like to talk a big game, especially when they're in debt and they think they got a big score somewhere. You know what I mean? But also not against finding more work, as I get bored easily.
If you'd like to make friends amongst the Drakes, I have a task needs doing that I'd rather not have an insider. You might be just the thing we're looking for.
He debates for a second whether he should take offense at being called a thing, and then just decides to roll with it. He goes, I can do that.
Good.
Oh, the side quests.
Good. You keep just rolling up the side quests. We should get a quest journal.
Dude, today we saved a kitten from a tree.
Still working on that taffy cat, though.
It was not a taffy cat, though.
I gotta find that Boston Mambo. Oh, so I'm always on the lookout for him.
Okay.
I don't know if he's gonna be here, though. I don't know if I could collect it even if he was here, so.
Who are you going to turn the bounty into? The other people that you would capture for bounties?
Send him on a caravan.
There you go.
Just truss him up.
And never get paid. Yeah, okay.
Well, it could be like a letter thing. Somebody pays you the bounty, what it's owed, and they'll collect it on the other side.
Maybe.
So a lot of messages get passed in that day.
In that day?
Back in that day.
Back in the day.
Back in yesteryear.
Yesteryear fantasy world.
Back in Magic Fantasy times, yeah.
Come on, you know how quotes said stuff, John.
He says, the high specter of this sisterhood is a woman named Nashifa. Her daughter Novi has been a bit of a thorn in our side.
Hold up. Sorry, I'm trying to get the names down. They're not our normal Englishy names.
Mm.
So the high specter, what's her name?
Nashifa
And her daughter?
is Novi.
Okay. Go on.
He says, Nashifa has her talons too deep into this town to give up easily. But Novi has no such regard for shade. I need her to leave. Not die, but depart from this town.
Okay. That's not the usual request, but I think I can work with that. Figure something out. I got a friend that likes to make a thing of himself.
It's like, who am I going to help with this task?
I can make something happen there.
This is good.
I need a blunt instrument.
So
I'll leave the method up to you. I'd like to. It'll be good for the Drakes to see how you operate.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, glad to be doing business. Kind of, is there like a thief handshake that people generally do, or is it still just regular handshakes?
Just regular handshakes, and like each guild might have their own
Like secret handshake?
secret handshake, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah, so he just reaches out and kind of does like the forearm one, the one where you're checking the other person for weapons.
Yeah, both of you kind of like do a quick glance, like, okay, no poison rings, no hidden daggers, okay.
So after that, I head back to the inn. That's the agreed upon meeting place.
Okay. And were you guys also heading back to the inn?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. So you all arrive back at about the same time, just past nightfall. You started this day in like late afternoon, so even though you haven't really done a ton, you kind of got a late start on it. As you approach, an uncharacteristic hush seems to have fallen over the inn. You can smell.
Was it as soon as we enter, or is it?
It's like you sort of meet one another outside, but even like just before dawn, you still heard like chatter and talking and like just kind of not commotion, but just like people were inside and they were sort of being active. This time as you approach, it's like quiet from inside. What's everyone's passive perception?
11.
Passive perception.
16.
Yeah, 11.
13.
11, 16, 13? Okay. The two of you can hear basically the sounds of blows being struck inside.
And there was a firefight.
And by the two of you, Kieran and Farron.
Yeah.
For clarification.
I got what you meant.
I pointed. But
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's just at home.
So when you say we are hearing that as we walk in, or before we
Before
make
you
it in
walk
the
in.
door? Okay.
Are there windows?
there are not, no. But there is the doorway is open. So you can try to peek in the door.
Is it dark inside?
No, it's bright.
Well, that's spooky.
I'm gonna hold. Okay, hold up. There's something going on inside. I'm gonna creep towards the door.
Okay. Test stealth.
Nice. 22.
To the left side of the room, from the door, a little ring has formed of
Like
people.
a fight ring.
There's a ring of people all looking inward, but no one's chanting or doing anything like that.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of people who are sort of nearby who are kind of very pointedly looking away. From above the heads, you can see a standing literally head and shoulders above the crowd.
A woman.
No, in this case, it's it appears to be a kind of grayish, a skin the color of moss. An ogre stands up. It looks to be bare chested. At least the shoulders are empty. And it's kind of it seems to be looking down at something, and then kind of scanning, just sort of sweeping the crowd with its gaze. It's got a vicious scowl and two large tusks from its lower jaw. You see a black-haired head kind of come up above the general thing of bodies, and then as it ducks down beneath the kind of crowd line, you hear of a blow being struck against somebody in the tavern, and you hear the recipient taking the blow, and then the crowd not saying any, nobody in the crowd doing or saying anything about it.
Well, we've seen her approach now, right?
Yeah,
the rest of us kind of
she sort of waved you off and then checked it out.
So
Somebody's getting beat up.
is that your uncle? Well,
that was
when
my
she
first
says
thought.
that's my first thought. Is that my uncle? It could be.
It could be. There's no reaction from the crowd, so I can't get an indication of what's going on.
So I'm just gonna. I'm gonna walk in, but I'll be circumspect.
Mm-hmm.
My hood's up at this point.
Okay.
And I try to get in closer to see what I can see because I'm worried it's my uncle.
Okay. Yeah. Make a stealth check to try to blend in with the crowd as you approach.
Fuck, 11.
11. Okay.
I power my way through.
It was 17, 3.
So I kind of elbow, try to see what's going up top.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm mostly just being circumspect. So
Gotcha. So you have advantage on it because of what Drox did,
Yay.
which is going to become apparent in just a hot second here.
Oh,
no, 17, so much better.
Okay. So as you kind of shove your way to the front and you sort of sneak around, winding through the crowd, both of you see at just about the same time Baron, basically his
Baron?
Your uncle.
Baron Barn,
I was just making sure that wasn't a different name.
I just
That's okay. I've done that with my character's name
I'm
too.
opted to go Barin just to make it more distinct, so to ease confusion. Because I know
that's
that
fine.
was
It's the first time it's come up.
Yeah. Anyway, your uncle, Baron or Barin, depending on who's
So let's go with Barin.
Your uncle Barin, basically being set back up into a chair. You can see his nose is broken again. His face is like awash in blood.
I just fixed that.
All your good work.
In addition to the ogre, there's a different bugbear than the one you saw earlier, who seems to be the one doing the striking. He's got like a black top knot, black hair in a top knot, and there's an orc and a vicious looking human kind of resetting the chair if it falls over. Sort of in the middle of the circle, you see a halfling, well tanned with short cropped hair and a clean cut beard. He is dressed in it's like an imitation of noble finery. It's like what a commoner would think a nobleman would dress like, sort of. And he's sort of standing in the center of this circle, about 3 or 4 feet from this just vicious beating going on. And he says, as you get close, you can hear him say, "Barin, when I give you a beating, I intend you to stay beat. If you find someone to heal you, it undoes all of Gar's hard work." And then another blow sends him scattering to the floor. You see him kind of groan and spit a tooth onto the packed earth ground.
How much light is in the room?
It's actually pretty well lit, which makes sort of a grisly spectacle of the whole thing. How
stealthily can I cast thaumaturgy? Because I can dim all the light in the room with that.
Not super. I mean, like because it's so silent, it would be very
okay.
It'd be very apparent.
Sorry, I'm trying to go for a dramatic flare before I start doing things.
That would look
appreciate
cool
it.
if you dim all the lights, throw your hood back, and be like, whoa.
So,
oh my god, if I could get off twice and make my voice boom.
So as his 2 henchmen, for lack of a better term, pick Barin up and reset the chair, the ogre kind of seems to be scanning the crowd, sees you sort of push her way to the front, where a number of people are kind of watching this happen, but not like everyone's sort of acting like they're not trying to. But he sees you kind of push your way and reaches to grab you. He does so and then just like pulls you to the ground in the middle of the circle.
Can I resist through athletics?
Sure, go for it. We'll make it a pose check.
Okay. Yeah, so that'd be 13.
He's got you.
Okay.
I don't know what to do, if I should try to jump in and talk this out or if I should just attack.
And he says, "Boss, we've got a looky-loo." As you scatter to the ground, the halfling turns around and says, "Well, who are you? Are you the would-be savior of my boy Barin here?" And kind of pats him on the cheek, and Barin's like, "Ugh."
I was raised with my orc tribe, and there was a fight. I always wanted to see what was going on with it. Which is true. There was a fight in the orc tribe. I'll go and see what's going on.
All right, I'll give you advantage on your deceive check.
No, I actually meant that's probably true.
Well, it's also not the whole truth.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll do it.
Nice.
22.
He says, "Oh, well, you see, son, this isn't a fight. This is what you call a beating. I'm sure you saw some of those in your tribe as well. Now, if you don't want to make this 2 beatings, I suggest you go on your merry way, unless you have something to either tell me or tell poor Baron here. You don't happen to know who healed him, do you?" And Baron's like, He doesn't know. And he says, "Shush, shush, shush, Baron. We'll get back to you. So, stranger, do you?"
I have no idea how he was healed.
Make your deceit check.
Can I get advantage? Because that is true. I don't know.
Oh. You saw how you've seen his healing magic before.
Oh, okay.
He could be trying to argue that he doesn't know how it works. Which might be true.
That is going to be a 12.
Ooh, no. I suppose this works out for the best. Gar, how are your knuckles feeling? Gar says, a little raw. And he says, "Well, then I give you a choice. In your name, sir."
I'm going to do a thing before this happens.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and do Dissonant Whispers on the Garth guy.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and make your...
He has to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha.
Of 13.
Well, I rolled a 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
And what's your AC?
AC is 14.
14. All right. The ogre, whose name you did not catch, swings a fist the size of a ham hock at you for 14 points of damage.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
crap.
Fuck a doodle.
So I believe that knocks you to 1 due to your racial...
Oh, no, I have 19 hit points.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Level 2.
Yeah, level
Ready for
2.
level ups. In that case, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Alrighty. 8.
Okay. You are stunned for 1 round by the blow.
However, does my thing go off?
No.
You
It's only
save.
if you...
No, he still takes damage.
Okay, so he made a save.
On a failed save, it takes 3d6. Oh, no, sorry. Failed save, it takes 3d6.
What's the spell?
I have it. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away.
Okay, so how much damage does Garl take?
Half of 13.
All right, so 6. Okay, so you see him sort of he reels back a little bit, as do you. So let's get some initiative going here because we have sort of begun a combat.
Okay.
14.
6. No, wait, sorry, 9. I was adding my perception bonus in.
20.
14.
Okay.
I still have no idea what was the right move here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think getting in a fight is the right move, but I also don't think interfering is the right move.
Yeah. I'm not above letting him take a hit if it's better
Oh, Kiara, you
for
said
the
you had
group,
20?
but I feel like I maybe was supposed to step in.
Also, too, like, are we supposed to keep our identities hidden at this point? And
Yeah.
that's what I thought, too, but he's kind of forcing us into a fight here.
Well, I guess to stay back if I get knocked out.
No,
someplace.
I'm not. I'm just trying to... Moral quandary.
Yeah, what do the characters do?
I honestly feel like, at least for me, with his knowledge of underworld things, he probably knows better than to get in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dracula.
No, I know. It just in terms of what the characters would do, like my guy would want to interfere, but kind of knows that's not the smart move.
Mm.
And as far as I would go, like, this is your uncle. I'm probably going to follow you. Follow your lead here.
Eric, what'd you have?
9.
9.
Really bad.
This is such a moral quandary. Drog's like, what's going on? What?
Yeah.
Screw you!
Well, again, the moral quandary is it's my uncle, now essentially one of my other friends in the party,
Yeah.
that is engaging in the fight.
We're all getting dragged in.
So, like, and my guy is inherently good. So should he interfere, or is this one of those, like, this isn't the smart move to make? You're like, you'll both survive.
Wait
Like,
it
they're just-
out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to put a beating on you, but we have a cleric.
Cleric who only can cast 3 spells in a day, keep in mind.
Yeah, but again, full rest, and we're essentially back at full hit points.
We also might learn more if this sounds awful, but if we watch the beating and listen, we might learn more about.
Yeah, I'm trying to have my guy do the smart move, because he's supremely intelligent.
Yeah.
And based on everything we're trying to do, he doesn't want to play his hand.
Tactically, we might want to watch, but depends. It is
Well,
your
learned a
uncle.
lot from Drog and his ass beat. So.
I was gonna say it's your uncle and
and-
your friend, so I don't know.
Well, and as of right now, I'm assuming you guys filled me in on what happened at the temple.
Mm.
So my guy's also the only one who's not known to them.
Well, actually, hold on. You sort of just met outside.
Okay,
You're
so
gonna
then I
kinda-
don't know
Yeah,
that.
you don't know what happened at the temple. You don't know what happened with the guilds.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's a good.
So top of the order.
Either way, I'm trying to stay circumspect. I don't want to reveal myself personally.
Gotcha. So top of the order, Raheem says, Cartoon, don't kill him if you don't have to, but if he tries to cast another spell, end him. He holds his ground but doesn't move. He's about 10 feet from you, and he's standing right next to
So, just a second. So I was hit by someone,
You were hit by the ogre.
and the other person has said to.
Raheem said to Cartoon, who you don't know who it is, but you're guessing is the ogre,
Yeah.
that if you cast another spell to kill you, is his instruction. Kiara, you're next.
I never actually walked into the room. I'm gonna stay in the shadow of the doorway here, sort of hidden.
Okay.
But I will prepare a dart.
Okay, sounds good. The orc and the hobgoblin, who you heard as Garl, both sort of move to flank Raheem. The hobgoblin is looking at you with kind of beady black eyes, full of hate.
Okay, so just get an idea. Though. So there is Raheem, who's how many? He has 2 henchmen.
He has
Right?
4 henchmen.
He has 4 henchmen. Okay.
An orc, a hobgoblin, a buff-looking human, and an ogre.
And which one was the orc?
The orc hasn't been named yet.
Hobgoblin's Garl.
Garl's a hobgoblin, and it seems that Kortun, Kortuun.
I was really close in my spelling of that.
I bet you were. What's the for a lot? You got a lot of good fantasy names like.
Yeah. I had Kartun.
Oh yeah. Kortun seems to be the ogre, and you haven't got the human's name yet.
Or the orcs.
All right, Drock, you're stunned for your turn, but you're no longer stunned.
Okay.
So this turn was wasted as you kind of as the room stops spinning.
Okay.
Fair.
I feel like I should probably go in, but I'm going to play this one safe, I think. I'm going to ready an action based on your movement, I think.
So you're with me?
Kiara, yeah. If I see you go, I'm going to go.
Okay.
Um,
We're stacked by the door like
Yeah.
stealth.
Eric, what do you do?
I hate to say it, but I'm holding an action.
Okay.
I'm not going to prepare to attack because this is a horrible outnumbered situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm prepared that if things seem to escalate towards either my uncle or Drock dying, they'll try to, at that point, intercede, see if I can calm things down. But I'm definitely trying to not start combat.
Okay. The human thug seems to position himself near enough to Barin to like put a hurt on him if like a rescue attempt seems to be being made. Kortun moves close and sort of towers over you. He says, "Stay down, little man."
God. No.
Raheem just sits there looking like a smug asshole. Kiaran. Okay, pass.
I'm holding position.
Everyone else seems to kind of see where things are going. Drock, back to you.
I don't get up. I try to get out of my sense. Like, if you kill me, no one's gonna be able to play loot tonight here. And I like to make a persuasion check.
Sure, go for it.
What are you gonna do? Seduce him?
No.
Yeah.
Could go
14,
that way.
unless I have like advantage or something.
No, you don't have advantage, but the
You should try and.
I point to my loot that's like still have strapped to my back. And I say I kind of actually even fumble my words a little bit more than I would to say, well, if you're gonna kill me, no one's gonna be able to play loot tonight. I kind of play up my being knocked out a little bit. My wooziness, I play it up.
okay. Actually, we'll keep going. Farron, you're next. You keep holding.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't like it, but yeah.
What's his expression?
Raheem seems contemplative. Kortun seems sadistic. I guess is a good. I'm not sure how you express that in a facial expression, but he looks like he's. To quote a great.
He
actor,
looks like he's taking too much pleasure in people being hurt. That's pretty.
To quote a great actor of our day, it looks like he'll take pleasure from gutting you, boy. Eric's.
I'm waiting to see how this plays out.
All right.
Are we bad people?
Yes.
No.
Kortun reaches down
let's be bad
and
guys.
basically he goes makes to grab you by the arm.
Mhm.
Do you like stay limp or do you resist?
I stay limp.
Okay.
Play dead.
No, I don't play limp. I'm just like,
Yeah, like-
I'm acting like I'm really woozy, even though it hurt like hell. I'm playing it up.
Okay.
Let me
You're,
find the urge to prison shank the guy.
you're not. You're method acting. You're not really have to stretch your range here on
Yeah.
this one.
You might break your arm.
He
here.
like pulls you. He raises you up by your arm and then sort of like pulls you to your tiptoes, so you don't really have good balance there.
Kick him in the balls.
Then
Rochambeau.
he looks at Raheem and he says, Raheem says, "Kortun, give him a chance. Why don't you warm my cold heart with a lovely song?" He says, "Play for your life and the life of your friend." And then Kortun drops you to the ground. You can land on your feet.
Okay. So I'll take my loot. Do I know actually from my experience, is there a song that halflings particular like, or that is kind of known throughout the halfling folk?
It's like saying, is there a song humans particularly like?
No, but if it's a culture.
If you're trying to play particularly for the Ivranchi kind of halfling, you do know, or if you're making the assumption he's from the Empire, or at least that's where he's from, you do know a number of songs that are kind of have historical relevance there. I'll give you advantage on the perform check for your quick thinking.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll play a classic song. 21.
You see his as you go into it. Do you speak heavily?
Yeah.
Okay. You see.
Sorry, I sing it.
You sing a song in his native tongue, and as the first few kind of measures go through, you see like the kind of smug, cocky look on his face sort of fade to one of surprise, and then yeah, he actually seems to like kind of
A tear falls.
It's like Eo in like Ratatouille, where he eats them. He remembers this childhood.
They're all little lighters.
the rest of the tavern is like just stunned. Like no one knows what to make of the situation. You only play a few measures of you'll play like the first verse chorus. You don't feel like this is the time to extend the song. And he says, "Well done."
You win this round.
But I've got my eye on you. And he sort of looks at the big like blackening bruise on the side of your face, and he says, "I better see my man's mark on you for a few days yet, and him too, or you'll both get worse. Come on!" He sort of waves his hit finger in the air in like a circular motion. His thugs kind of form up on him, and the crowd parts like in front of him as he moves by, and they sort of come back together in his wake. And then he leaves, and everyone sort of like starts looking around, not quite sure what exactly just happened here.
I looked at the bartender, like, so am I still playing?
Guy's a dick. Like once he's out of earshot.
I still playing tonight?
Yeah, it's the woman there again with the big scar. Oh, because we sort of skipped this introduction last time. So the bartender, or one of the bartender at the road's end, is a human woman with mostly black but graying hair, with a large vertical scar that goes from like about halfway up her scalp down to the right side of her mouth, bisecting one of her eyes. She wears a patch over it, or where it used to be.
I'm going to try to make sure I get her name tonight, since I have her down as the night tender.
She says, "Well," oh no, she had a different voice. She says, "Well, by how much you're slurring, I don't think you should be singing, but feel free to play if your hands are up for it."
I'll just need a moment. Can I get a drink?
She says, "I think you've earned it." And she gives you a beer.
I looked down at Baron. What brought him around? Weren't you supposed to stay out of trouble?
He says, "I was out of trouble. The trouble found me. He says he likes my face this way for how much I owe him. And he said he was sure I paid a healer."
Are we okay to do general first aid on you? I know we can't use restorative magic. Or do you need to look like you've never, put on a Band-Aid?
He says,
Bandage, sorry.
"No, I can get some tending. Probably won't be the worst thing."
Farron, would you mind?
Yeah, sure.
Straighten his nose out.
Heal check, I guess.
Yeah.
Medicine, whatever.
Are you still on the ground? Or did you get back?
Medicine.
Oh, no, I'm up.
16.
I could have taken him. Oh, no, actually, I do say, like, it's a good thing I played that song and decided not to resort to violence, or else it could have ended really ugly.
I'll look over to draw, put my hand on his shoulder. That was freaking brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, you managed to like kind of clean up stop the bleeding, kind of knit up some of the cuts a little bit. All right, kind of play corner man to him a little bit.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm assuming the bar area is returning relatively to normal now.
Yeah, more or less. Like people have started going about their business there.
Somebody, I took a punch from an ogre?
There's an ogre, yeah.
So that's a thing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. A lesser man would have been killed.
Yeah.
Oh, a week ago you would have been killed.
Thank you, level 2.
Thank you, level 2. All right, because of the nature of what we're going to have to start discussing, I'm going to try to get like a corner area,
Okay.
so we can, attain some level of privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, I mean, depending on how much Drock wants to be involved, if he sets up shop near us and plays his music, it can at very least overshadow our voices, so we don't carry as much.
You'll be able to kind of he'll be involved in the discussion by discussing it sort of between his performances.
Yeah,
but he'll sort of just be like maybe noodling a little bit, or and then one of you will be on watch, like if anyone tries to come over to talk to him or anything like that.
Yeah, especially with what we're going to discuss, like I think we probably should have something to eat and drink.
Mm.
We're going to be discussing something fairly larcenous that could get us in a lot of trouble. So, yeah, I definitely want to make sure that we do as much as we can to not be overheard. Otherwise, we'll have to go upstairs.
Well, I told you my thoughts, though, of using Roston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the very least, we fill each other in on what we know. I tell them about my encounter with the Thieves Guild, that as far as I can tell, this city's not on enough of a lockdown that us doing this is going to draw the ire of the Thieves Guild, but they've given me a task that'll help earn their friendship, which we're going to have to do a little bit more investigating on, but I think might be up Drock's alley. We have to drive a specific member of the opposing Thieves Guild out of town because it's been causing problems for them. The how and the why is left up to us. That's why we need to do some investigating, because we need to find a way to do it. Figure between us, we can find a way. But we should be... What? Oh.
It is a sisterhood, right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yes, we should be able to do it. I mean, we have a couple different resources. You can maybe even get in, and find some stuff. Not sure how good you are at the lying and deception.
Well,
If it is a fledgling thing, maybe they're open to new members.
They'll just be really bad at, like, you can try it out. They might, not take, but still, you can at least get the in.
I'll tell you about what happened at the water merchant and how we were ripped off, basically. But we also are a little bit under suspicion.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then, especially with anything in regards to that, I might need to stay away from you. Especially if we're near there, because if they're watching you, at the very least, I can still be a wild card in that. So outside of probably this immediate room, we should be seen together as little as possible, and watch out for tails. Like,
That's a good point. I'm going to look around and see
yeah,
if we are being
as
followed.
they tell me that, like, I'm looking around to sit, because this is the first time I'm aware of it, to see if anybody is paying attention to us before we go further into discussion.
Go ahead and make perception checks, everyone who's looking around.
17. I'm looking around.
Freaking God! Bro! 8.
18.
11, as I'm between
17.
Being perceptive is not one of my skills yet.
You notice
That means we were followed. Uh-oh.
an older man with a stern look on his wrinkled and worn face. He has a like a strong bearing about him. Like he's sitting like up straight in his chair across the room, kind of eyeballing a lot of you. As he notices you notice him, he like turns away and picks up a glass and
Smooth.
yeah.
Do you indicate him to those of us who
Yeah.
are less perceptive?
I'm going to kind of... Hey, that guy over there. Check him out.
All right. So since I have not dropped the hood, I'm gonna try to make sure my face, like more of the hood, is blocking my face in whatever direction he is.
Mhm.
Excuse myself from the table. I'm not going to him. I'm going to the bar. Before I get up, I said, just keep an eye on what he's doing. I go to the bar and I just chat up the bartender.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to try to order some drinks and have them food and have them sent to the table.
Okay.
But like I said, like last time, I'm being generally kind of flirty with her.
Okay.
I'm specifically trying to find out her name.
Okay. I missed the flirting. You just ask her like, "Oh, I didn't get your name."
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't need to like weasel it out of her. Like, I didn't catch your name last time, and I feel like I'm going to be here a lot. I want to make sure I call you by your name instead of demeaning pet names.
She says, "I'm Yasilda. My friends call me Axe-Eye.
Do you prefer to be called Axe-Eye?
I don't mind it. It's a little on the nose."
I would agree with that. It's not the most creative of nicknames. I think for now I'll go with Yasilda. I like that a little bit better. It's more becoming of you.
She says, "Ah."
So yeah, I order food, have it sent to the table.
Okay.
I have it sent. I'm not going back yet.
Okay.
Okay, I have also asked for, I kind of like, I'll go to a party and say requests, and I'm going to do that once, and I'm going to ask the bald guy.
And I'm also trying to keep an eye out on that guy.
Oh, the stern-looking guy.
Yeah, so I'm going to say it to one group, let's say requests, just kind of, look at them and do they say anything?
They're like,
Free bird!
Yeah.
a woman says, "Play the rocks, mate." So make a history check or charisma check if charisma is better for you.
Oh,
you have
okay.
proficiency on it.
18.
18? Okay. You are familiar with The Rock's Mate. It is a staggeringly graphic account of a woman who engages in sexual congress with a rock, a giant bird.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs that most bards know, but few ever play.
All right. So I play the song, and I kind of growl the lyrics so they're not as discernible. I kind of Eddie Vedder it,
Okay.
if possible.
You also play it on the ukulele?
That's amazing.
He sings along with the as best he can. This guy is very drunk, but by the second verse, even like a crowd as sort of world worn and grizzled and just kind of generally criminal jerks as this one, like faces are beat red throughout. Like,
Can I see if I play it well?
there's not much to play. It's like
Yeah.
it's like 2 chords, and then you're just basically slapping the case of your lute as in metronomic time, which I'm not even gonna make you check for.
Okay.
As the lyrics aren't really meant to be like it's a drinking song by and large, but it's a drinking song that centers around
Yeah.
bestiality with giant mythological creatures.
Best guy.
So you kind of read in the room after a couple. You say like you kind of trail off and
Yeah.
let the song kind of wrap it up. And after he gets like 2 lines into the third verse, and he's no longer has accompaniment, and he's like, oh, all right, and stops.
Okay.
But he kicks you a few silver.
Okay. I take it. So then I'll play like another song, and then I'll ask the bald guy if he has any requests.
He actually has like silver hair.
Okay. So
He says, "My request is that you go away and allow me to finish my drink in peace."
how does that start? All right.
He continues to just stare at you,
All right. Then I actually look over the table. Any requests?
like just to another table.
Yeah,
or-
to another table.
Okay, yeah. You get a few more requests and you play them.
Okay. So yeah, so that's all I do.
Okay.
As long as that guy's in the bar,
Mhm.
I'm not going to go back to our table.
Okay.
I'm keeping my distance for now.
Then everyone can make perception checks again.
The other thing is, like, if obviously become like I'll chat up the bartender, but if necessary, like I will start being friendly with other bar patrons,
Okay.
just striking up conversation. So at the very least, it seems I'm not necessarily specifically with them. Like even if it's like going up to the table, trying to like strike up a conversation or get a card game going.
Okay. Gotcha.
10.
10,
8.
12.
12,
15.
15.
It's doing better.
Oh, that's one.
Druck, you see that the older human gentleman who was so cruel to you, or so rude to you anyway,
Yeah.
doesn't really seem like he seems to be mostly fixated on the 2 remaining people at the table, which is Kieran and Farron. He doesn't really seem to have much of an interest in you or Eric's.
Okay. When I do go over to kind of get like my beer, I do ask the bartender like, "What's up? What's a silver fox?" I kind of lean over.
Eric kind of looks at you.
See, my barbarian character would have died by now, but my bard character.
I find it ironic that the check that has helped us the most is your ability to sing.
Hey man, the power of music. That is really coming.
Yeah, somehow.
I've yet to encounter any other tieflings in town, right? Like,
Correct.
I'm still fairly unique.
Yes.
Crap, when I get expertise, I mean, I want to put it in perception and athletics like a logical person, but damn, I don't want to put it back into performance. So I'll have my double proficiency, and I could actually, at a certain level, hit 30 on a 20.
Jesus.
John, is there still able to like have the gods here, or is that gone forever?
What?
If you can play a song so well, the gods are like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, kind of, sort of.
Technically, but I think we're gonna have to engage this dude.
Probably.
Yeah,
So in the meantime, way to go being a smooth criminal, getting that flirt on.
I'm trying to downplay that being around you guys at this point.
And it helps with your friendly with other people. Makes it seem like you're just sort of bouncing between.
Well,
Well,
see,
that's why I was saying, like, I was going to try to bounce around a little bit, so it didn't seem
Yeah, and I'm also bouncing around too. It's like, oh, the bartender knows, like, yeah, the musician guy knows these people.
Isilda says, "That's Deshaun." He's in here every now and again. She says we try to keep an air of respectability in this town. There are a few other dives that he wouldn't walk in if he had a saber to his back.
What's his story?
I don't know. He's here with some kids sometimes, but no one really knows his deal. Keeps to himself. Keeps his head out of trouble. Not somebody you want most people pick a fight against. He's got that look in his eyes.
So what I'm going to do throughout the night is I'm going to actually kind of relay that information back to them when I'm like kind of asking for like requests.
Partly because of this mechanical question. Disguise kits.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just a deception roll if you get the kit? Do you have to be proficient in it?
You have to be proficient in it to get a mechanical benefit from it.
I have one.
But like if you want to just sort of, you can. The proficiency will give you the bonus on the check. Otherwise, you'll need one to make like a good disguise.
Well, the main thing I was thinking about is like if I am mostly tooling around with the hood up and like the main part of my face that'll stick out is like the lower part, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
If I make my general face human toned,
okay,
I'll stand out less as a freaking tiefling.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I still have a tail, but I mean, I could probably try to do things like binding it up when moving around because currently I'm standing out the most out of anybody. I mean, even half orc. There's probably other orcs. We already know there's other orcs. I've never seen anybody else like me, so I'm gonna try to do what I can. Even if you have a disguise kit, you can help me.
Yeah, actually, I do have one.
Okay.
So just generally trying to make me like I obviously can't appear completely human, but just while like if I'm all cloaked up,
less immediately noticeable.
Yeah, because I'm crimson skin, so I'm gonna try to see if I can downplay that when we're doing general maneuvers. So unless obviously
got really sunburned.
Do you have any like Palor symbols?
There's a giant one on my shield.
Okay,
yeah.
So the only one who doesn't stand out is you. You are the most nondescript.
By design, thank you.
Yeah, you are.
Well, but generally my gut like
I'm also like clanging around in full like chainmail or whatever all the time.
I'm really actually glad that Howard wasn't like, who healed you? Oh, there's a cleric of Palor right there.
It's that guy.
I'm glad we stayed outside for that.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a little bit
Yeah.
This is also
what's going on in
this
here.
is also the first adventuring group ever that I think would have like, let's see how this goes.
Let's wait it out.
That is this is the only group that I would have had that amount of like self restraint. Everyone else is like, what?
my guy's gonna continue to bounce around the bar, doing whatever. If he can get a card game going to hustle some people, he will. Otherwise, it's mostly trying to strike up, be friendly.
Okay.
If I actually make friends, let me know like if there's any names I need to keep track of, because at this point he is also trying to establish contacts with people in the city.
I was so blown away by the group's self-restraint. Hold on, let's see. Let him take this beating for a little bit. Let's try to see where this goes.
Let's learn his weaknesses.
I had a moment. It was real close.
Yeah, I'm just like it. I wanted to because it felt like every option seemed like it was probably going to end badly.
Those are four. Like, no, that's
Well,
five. Probably that was a formidable challenge, and
Yeah.
my kind of get out of my main spell that I can target that, but I didn't know if there was gonna be enough room that's gonna hit like it because it hits the lower people first. I didn't want to knock out a bunch of goddamn observers, you know.
That would be hilarious though.
Sleep, and then everyone else falls down except for the huge towering people that are looking at me.
Crap.
Like, okay, I just used my spell up.
Yeah.
So-
The conversation in my own head basically went like, I should do this. Like, a paladin would do that. I'm not a paladin. I'm a cleric.
Let's see if Draw can talk his way out of it.
Well, we're kind of like this is good stuff. Some of this, I just wanted to like crack a soda, not interrupt somebody, and have to deal with that shit later.
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, so on top of the general milling about and keeping an eye on that guy, because at this point, at the very least, he seems like the guy that's probably watching us. I'm keeping an eye out to see if there's anybody else. Because if they're not drawing attention to themselves, there probably shouldn't be a lot of side eye going to them. If there's anybody giving them specifically a lot of glances and side eye, it's more circumspect than that dude was. I'm just trying to see if I can notice that, because again, I don't want to tip my hand here too soon. And if nothing else, then at some point I'll just go up to our rooms and.
We can always talk in our rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we actually? I'll bring up the idea. Like, should we just talk in our rooms from now on?
Yeah, probably. But I think I'm going to handle this situation the only way Farron knows how. I'm going to go grab a beer and I'm going to plop that down in front of the guy and I'm going to say, "Hey, friend."
Oh, this is good.
The direct approach.
All right, we'll get right to you.
Waiting patiently.
I'm actually very excited about this. Talking about Paylor. On a side note, okay, so this is a conversation that Drog has had with you a few times.
Okay.
He's very interested in Paylor. He has let you know within his travels that when he's sure other people aren't around, Grumsh whispers to him in his dreams, like all orc heritage.
Oh.
So the God of Light is very appealing to him.
Do I know if that actually happens for people of orc heritage, or are you like a crazy person?
I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
That is something. Well, I mean, with being my half orc tribe, you know, Grumsh whispers to us in our dreams, even though because he is the god that created us. I think.
I'm curious
He's
if
your
that's a
patron,
real
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, he's our pure patron. So I only know that like he whispers, and like I've been fighting it my whole life, but now there appears like the God of Light is very interesting to me, and he's the opposite of what Grumsh is.
Okay.
A lot of things are the opposite of him. Like I think that's like good is generally things.
Okay.
You also know my guy doesn't care for priests a lot because he's had a lot of exorcism encounters.
Right.
So he does have an interest and the curiosity about Paylor's songs and stuff like that. So
Well, I'm sure I have like little pamphlets at the ready. Like, here you go.
Okay, yeah. So he actually is interested in Paylor because he wants something to fight against his dark whispers in the night. Just letting you know, the half orc kind of has that.
All right, so you did meet somebody kind of in your schmoozing, aside from Ysilda, who, if you keep kind of laying on the charm, she insists you start calling her Sildy.
Oh, man.
And she starts giving you the wild eye. You also meet a dude on the at the bar. He seems to be a regular. His name is Ovrin Six Fingers. And on his...
Does he really have 6 fingers?
He has 6 fingers. He's basically like this.
6 total?
6 total. He got both his thumbs, which is lucky for him. So
For those of you listening at home, John basically just flashed the blood symbol at everybody.
Yeah. Sorry?
Making gang
What's
signs.
sorry? All right.
This is the sign for a very unlucky debtor who's still got a few chances left to pay up.
Exactly 6 chances.
Well, once you get below 5, you're starting to... Gripping things becomes a serious problem.
Yeah.
So, is there an interesting story behind those fingers, or is it just mundane expenses?
He says, well, some of it was for fun, some of it was for necessity. Some was a little bit of both.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
And he's like, well, actually, hold on a second. Let me see if I can recall. This one was fun, and he points to the stuff where his middle finger was. He says, this one is for necessity, and he points to the stuff where his pinky once was. And then he says, and these 2 are for women. I mean, a little of both, right? He says, but it's only due to my charms that they don't call me Avrin Two Stumps.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, you plop down now in front of the man. And did you get his name relayed to you? I don't think so.
No.
I said Deshaun. I might have mentioned Deshaun.
Oh, okay. Well, I just said friend, so...
He says, you seem very out of place in a town like this.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. We're new.
As I gathered, it is easy to see when new blood arrives in Shade.
So we've noticed.
What brings you here?
Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I'm like sizing him up the whole time, like trying to figure out...
Is nobility still a thing? Or is that history now?
History.
Okay. History? Make a history check, but it's going to be a damn tough one.
Ooh. 11 probably isn't going to do it then.
Okay. No, you can't glean any additional information. Other than, like, up close. His silver hair is pulled back. And it goes, like, just down past his shoulders. It seems like it's slicked back with some sort of oil.
Okay.
He has probably 3 or 4 days worth of stubble. It's also silver beard.
Okay.
He has kind of grayish blue eyes that, like, they're not, their color isn't piercing, but they've got, like, a quiet intensity to them.
Okay.
And he stood to, like, a very rigid posture, like, back very straight. Everything he does is very poised.
Okay. And he's like an older guy, sounds like.
Yeah, he looks to be in probably his mid-50s.
Okay. I gotta say, buddy, you don't really seem to fit the bill around here either.
As you are one to attest, there are many things that can bring a man to a place like this.
Fair enough.
Some he is not particularly proud of, and he sort of glances around to some of the... He like seems to glance at a few people around the room. For others, it is a duty that must be upheld.
I hear that. I hate to bring this up, but I noticed you were kind of staring earlier. Was it the armor? It's always the armor, right?
Important question, so I know how to mark this in my notes. Can I overhear him?
Make a perception check.
Can I also try to overhear him? Because I don't know if he's trying to hit on him or
No,
not.
you're too conspicuous, and he already sort of hates you, so...
21. Natural 20.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, you
Okay.
can overhear.
I just want to make sure if I'm taking notes to mark whether or not my character's aware of any of this conversation, or if it's just information I have on hand.
He says, "A man of honor sticks out in this place like a tree amongst the dunes.
Yeah, there's little enough honor to go around, I'm noticing.
I bid you allow me finish my drink in peace, but perhaps we will share another time."
Sure thing. Us old guys got to stick together, and I'll clink the glass to his whether he's holding it or not.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's kind of making the motion. He completes it.
Okay.
And he says, "To men of honor," and takes the drink.
Sure. Well, I guess at that, I'll climb on out, and that'll be that.
You were the perfect person to talk to him.
I guess. Okay, so I'll rejoin Kieran, I guess, at the other table. So I gleaned basically nothing from that.
Oh, but it also sounds like he may not actually be watching us for the reasons we thought.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good.
He may not be a tail.
As the night heads on, despite your short day, it's quickly caught up to you. So you make your arrangements to turn in.
As our characters turn in, so does our story.
Joe, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Smooth.
Thank you all for joining us on the Die by the Dice podcast. As always, if you think anyone did anything particularly noteworthy, now I know I have a few shout-outs I would love to give, but unfortunately I'm bound by my own restrictions to not give any bonus XP or inspiration to my players. But you, our listeners, can by either tweeting us at diebythedice or diebythedice@gmail.com. Tell us what you liked and why you liked it and who deserves a shout-out, and we can go ahead and give them a little bit of bonus XP and a little bit of inspiration for their hard role-playing work for you. Until next week, we have been Die by the Dice. Thank you for listening.